On this episode, we had Joe Masetti of Building Talent Foundation. Building Talent Foundation is a nonprofit that works with builders across America to recruit employees. They've built a fascinating platform called jobstobuild.com where for free, someone can go in and upload their information, their resume, the builder can upload what their needs are, and they get matched. It's a great episode. I know you're going to love it. As a business owner, things like this really excite me. Please like and subscribe. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. I'm James Groves, and along with my business partner, Bill Dement, we want to share our journey as small business owners with you. As owners of Hole in the Wall Drywall Repair, we will attempt to peel back the curtain of owning a small business in the trade service industry and talk about the many adventures of owning a small business. Hey, Bill.
Hey, James, I want to jump right in. We've got a really cool guest today, and we're going to be on one of my favorite topics. Yours too, I happen to know because I have a lot of conversation with you about it.
Yeah.
But it's about working in the trades. It's about equipping people to work in the trades. And you just said during the pre-show, Mike Rowe, who's a big champion nationally, they're saying there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of jobs going without someone to fill them in the trades.
Yeah. And really it's one of our biggest hiccups, one of our biggest like pain points, even here at Hole in the Wall.
Oh, yeah.
Just finding quality people. Heck, I don't even care if they know drywall, but just finding quality people that you can hire.
Yes.
And so finding platforms that can help us as a business owner and having places that people who are wanting a job can go to, it's really nice. And that's why we have our good friend Joe Masetti. Joe is with, there's your audience, Joe, sorry. Joe Masetti is with the Building Talent Foundation. He's a senior engagement manager. That's a big name, senior engagement manager.
Make me sound old.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, welcome on the show, man. Thanks for coming in today.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and so I want to dig into it. We have so much to talk about today. I'd love my audience kind of know who you are, where you kind of came from, what led you to your passion project here at the Building Talent Foundation. And let's just hit it. How's it going there, Joe?
Going well. So I kind of tell you my backstory, if that's all right. So I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, right near Coney Island. So
I could not tell.
Yeah, you couldn't tell from the accent. I'm a Floridian. Yeah. So, but I grew up there, finished up high school. Mom told me, you need to go to college. So I listened to Mom for a little while until I picked up my big boy pants and said, I'm not doing this anymore. And unfortunately left. Yeah. So did about a year and a half. And I started working for Home Depot. Did that roughly about 6 years. I was a store manager for them. A company called Target, which wasn't in Brooklyn yet, called me. And I moved over. I went over to New Jersey area and started working for Target. At that point, I also moved to Pennsylvania, which kind of still the midway point.
Yeah.
To Brooklyn, it took an hour to get to. And I started working for Target, did that 13 years, was literally becoming a district manager for them. And my in-laws here in Orlando, my mother-in-law got a little sick. Thank God she's great now. Father-in-law, they have a business and uprooted the family. My wife, 4 children. My kids were so happy. And came over to Florida and worked with them for roughly about a year. And then my wife is still working with them. God bless her. And I worked over to American Builder Supply about 8 years, did some staffing. And while I was doing that, there's a company, Building Talent Foundation, that is very near and dear to my heart. Do a lot of things with young children, youngins, youth. Yeah. I would say 18 and older, more especially in different schools, this and that, just looking out for the passion. That's my passion. So I started working for them a little over a year now.
So not even colleges, but just anyone in general.
Anyone in general. From high school senior, do a lot. High school seniors, especially graduating and all, because they're turning 18 and all. There's different programs, like Lyman has a great program, Lyman High School. Colleges, tech schools, communities. Thursday, I have a Department of Corrections meeting with 2 inmates that, be freshly coming out within the next month or so. Everyone needs to work and
deserves a second chance.
Yes, we have second chance employers. There's NCCER training in the facilities there. So it works out great.
Well, I listen, I've got one son who is a brilliant maniac. He, magna cum laude, master's degree. And I got another son who
He's pretty bright too.
He's
though.
very bright. He doesn't do well sitting behind a desk.
Yeah.
You know, even finishing his AA was a little difficult. Bring that microphone a little closer. And then I've got my daughter. She's a tattoo artist, and it's like there's so many different lanes for people. Gone are the days where you have to go spend $100,000 on college.
Absolutely.
When I went to college, it cost me $20,000. Now my same college is $120,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's just blown up ridiculous. You're in debt. You have to make a decision on what you want to do the rest of your life when you're 16, 17 years old in high school, 18 years old. And then you start going to college and you rack up these tens of thousands of dollars of debt.
I read that there was a large push in the 1970s by colleges to increase their enrollment. So it became everybody needs to go to college. If you want to succeed in life, the messaging was you need a degree, you need to go to college at no matter what it costs, it's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
But I think that's been exposed. Would you agree with that in the last
absolutely
decade anyway?
So myself graduated in 93 from Lincoln High School in Brooklyn. And if you didn't go to college or learn about computers, like, oh my God, your life is going to be over. And now I have 4 children. I look at it this way. My 2 girls are older than the boys. So my girls, my princesses, geniuses like their mom. So UCF and all, they graduate, school teacher. But so, yes. And then my boys, my 21-year-old now, when he was 18, he didn't even want to finish high school. I had to give him a couple of suitcases and tell him, when you're done moving out, I need him back. And,
let me know where to forward your mail.
Yeah. P.S. He finished high school and he actually took an HBI course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Did that for some carpentry and stuff. Started working for American Builder Supply, building some trusses overnight. And 3 years later, he's a field manager. He's 21 years old, went behind the ear. He has his own truck, gas card. He just bought a boat.
Yeah.
No college whatsoever.
Wow.
And then my youngin, only reason why he's going to college, he plays baseball. He's pitching Georgia. So
wow.
He's in college.
Nice.
I mean, you can make a really good living, right? Without having to strap yourself with that massive debt. And frankly, you're some people, listen, if you need to be in marketing, if you need to be an attorney, I got it. You got to go to college. But the average student, they may not have those same aspirations. And to be able to jumpstart your career by getting into a trade. Listen, you come work for Hole in the Wall, we'll train you. We literally have a school here, or you go to an HBI who was on the podcast just a few months ago. And, and they'll give you the, basic training for free at that company. Mm-hmm. Or even the local schools, Orange County. And we're on the board of advisors for the Orange County Technical College. And they're pumping out all kinds of quality, students with good knowledge, carpentry and, mechanical and engineering and electrical. So when you're on your side of the job, you work with both the business and the employee.
Yeah, so we work on the educational side with the schools as well as the employees. So on the educational side, we go in again, colleges, tech schools, high schools, HBIs, companies like that. I go out and do soft skills, do some resume building. It's not just hi. Let me find you a job. It's let me get to know you. Let me know what you know and what you're doing. So doing the soft skills with them, helping them with the interviewing and stuff like that, helping them with resumes. And then we set them up on a platform called Jobs to Build. It's the most fascinating thing. So to start, we're funded and founded by the leading builders of America. Mm-hmm. So there's 21 leading builders like the Taylor Morrisons and D.R. Horton, Meritage, Toll Brothers, KB. So all of them, they got together and decided there's going to be a severe shortage. I mean, they see it. The trade shortage is going to be there. So old men like me retire and stuff. It's going to be done. So what they do, so they have us go out into these different schools and all in communities and everything and set up students on this Jobs to Build. So when they get on Jobs to Build, it's almost like an Indeed, but it's you set up an account on Indeed. You're like an HVAC guy, and you go, hey, and Dunkin' Donuts calls you, and you're like, oh, great. I don't want to be a cashier. I want to sit in the AC. I want to fix the AC. So, but with this platform on Jobs to Build, it'll funnel every student. So if there's electrical students, and then I see carpentry students, HVAC, plumbing, whatever it may be, it funnels it to where they see all the trades in their trade that they want. So they'll see all of our employers. We have over 7,500 employers. We're 15 states. So there's tons of opportunity for these students. There's some, especially military, that are like, hey, I want to go to Jacksonville. I want to go to Texas, wherever they want to go. We have engagement managers there as well. Nice. That help them out.
That's great.
I'm curious, when you go, you said you go into high schools and I don't know, maybe even colleges, certainly trade schools. But when you go in and present what you guys have, do you find you get a pretty good reception from the students?
Yeah. So some, there was a Building Talent Foundation started out like 2019, kind of like a concept. So 2020, and then COVID hit, right?
Sure.
So it was kind of like us. So there was like three different people, one in Orlando, one I think Texas somewhere. And so it wasn't like, did that go off?
No, we're good.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was the
So the
AC.
screen go down, the AC went down. I was like, oh. So sorry about that. But they started off just kind of like a concept and then built stronger from that. So there's like roughly 30 of us that are out there doing this and helping out.
Yeah, and you don't work just one community. You're hitting the whole Central Florida region.
I'm all of Central Florida. I live in Seminole County, Winter Park. So I mean, I'm out south, north of Ocala, Melbourne, Polk County, all the way to Tampa, and then I have
quite a territory.
Yeah, then I have someone boots on the ground in Tampa for me, Daniel, which is great. I'm so the senior engagement manager, so I kind of oversee that. Then again, there's Fort Myers, there's someone, there's Miami down there, and then Jacksonville, we have Aaron. So yeah, there's a big presence of us in Orlando. In Florida area.
So let's say you connect with a student. What's the process for that student to get rolling on this? What does it cost them? Where do they go? And what does this look like?
Yeah. So it's no cost. So the student will go on Jobs to Build and set up an account. Very simple. It's really named their, kind of not their full address, more their sitting in state, because we want to make sure I'm not having them drive to Fort Myers from Orlando, because that's a long trip. And so then from there, they would set up an account and all, put their skills in there. They upload their resume. The platform's great because it'll generate a resume for them as well if they don't have one.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then from there, I, chat with them and kind of, pre-screen them. Okay. Where it helps out. So, you have different employers that want different things. Some employers want those, everyone wants a go-getter, but some employers just want like, hey, this person come in, they're going to be working on their own. Let me get this. But others are like, hey, could this person work in a team? Hey, so whatever it may be, I get that out of them, kind of have the conversation with them, help them through it and all. Most important parts to me is, the employers, of course, I want to make them happy, right? It's all great, but I want that candidate.
You want them to succeed,
I want
right?
them to succeed. I want them in 3-4 years later to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get an LLC. I'm going to open up my own thing. I'm going to do what I have to do. Like, it's not just, work, and it's great. Hey, people want to work for, for someone forever. That's fantastic as well.
So you guys are primarily connecting an employee with an employer, but is there a training phase in there somewhere?
We're the bridge.
You're the bridge,
between
okay.
the job seeker or candidate, right, and the employer. And the thing is, we like to them to see them if they're finishing up a high school. Hey, entry level, we haven't. There's got 90% entry level positions, right? Because no one loves hiring with the bad habit. Yeah, I'm doing this for 10 years. Oh, great. Old dog, new tricks. It's kind of hard sometimes. But a lot of the entry level. So so they'll come in and whether it's a high school or tech school and all. Tech school, you go in there for a certificate, might as well get your electrical certificate or HVAC, right? Get your EPA universal. And then we go through, help them out with different interviews. It's great when they work with me, and a lot of the guys and girls, they're like, oh my goodness, Mr. Joe, this is great, because they go and they set up, oh yeah, I'm looking for, I applied for like 7 different jobs. And I'm like, great, anyone call you back? No, not yet. Well, if they tell me, hey, Mr. I'm looking to work for a hole in the wall, I'll give you a call.
Yeah,
hey,
why
I got
not?
a great person
Sure.
I spoke to. Like this morning, we talked earlier, right? It was like 2 different people that I think would be great, for the position. You're going to be like, oh, Joe vetted them out, did some work with them. Well, let me interview them at least. The worst that could happen is it doesn't work out, right?
Yeah. Did you know that there are over 140 million homes in the U.S.? 97% of them have walls and ceilings that are built using drywall. The drywall repair industry is simply enormous, valued at over $13 billion a year. We're hole-in-the-wall drywall repair, and for years we have been perfecting the art of repairing drywall, developing and refining our systems, and strengthening our brand. Our business model is simple, scalable, and easy to learn. We believe it's a real game changer. We are successful drywall repair pros who decided to take our repair business to a higher level growing both our franchise training and support to industry-leading standards. You'll benefit from our vast experience helping your franchise hit the ground running and achieve success quickly. We'll give you access to our marketing team that has created strategic programs designed to get your phone ringing and booking new business fast. Join a fast-growing leader in an exciting dynamic segment of the home service industry by franchising with Hole in the Wall Drywall Repair. Start building your own business and securing your own financial future today. Well, so my little brain starts a hamster wheel starts going, because for me, business owner, obviously small business owner here in Orlando, but as we franchise out, I'm going to have people all over the country, and part of my role as a franchisor is to figure out, can I help them find qualified people in their location, right? Mm-hmm. We always have a feed friends and family first. Obviously you hire, people from your church, your family members, whatever, because you want to feed the people you know and love.
Sure.
But not everyone has that ability, and you need to have someone that they can reach out to. And so we partner with people like, Building Talent Foundation and HBI and stuff, because they're also in 48 different states, to try and figure out how we can help them do that. So my wheel's spinning. All right, so how can I'm going to get your list of states, make sure that everyone logs in and because sure. we're on jobstobuild.com, but they're going to need to be there too, Yeah. I love it because even now, Bill, you probably don't even know this, but usually every week I get 5 or 6 resumes from that people are sending me from his platform, Jobs to Build. I'm going to keep saying jobstobuild.com. Go there. It's the platform that Building Talent Foundation has for placement. So it's fabulous. We get resumes. I forward them over to my team to start vetting them out. And so obviously here we're looking to hire 3 people, like by the end of the year, beginning of next year. And finding 3 people, it's hard to find one, but let alone 3. So all the resources that we can get, we're taking.
Mm-hmm. Sure, and it helps out the vetting process. How hard, go on an Indeed or you go on something like that and you're looking, searching, and oh, look, a sandwich artist, someone who works at Subway, right? Yeah. They're a Subway employee, they're a sandwich artist, so, but with me, I'll have that conversation, set them up and all that, and be like, hey, here's 2 or 3, this is what you're looking for. And typically, I'll say, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 are usually getting employed. Not every single one, because, sometimes it just doesn't work out, but even our retention rate's at 86% as a company.
Oh, that's terrific.
That's 1,000 placements per year.
Wow.
That's small fry. We're looking to have 10,000 by the end of 25. We're also expanding. So yeah, and it's huge. And it's not those numbers just is a check mark. It doesn't give us anything different. There's no, we're just doing it because we love to do it, and this how it is. And it is, someone does pay for it, and it happens to be the builders. Yeah. But our employers, like yourself, do not. It's no cost. Our employees, there's no cost. So it's great. Instead of the $5 or $10 per resume on Indeed or Monster or ZipRecruiter, it's oh wow, look, Jobs to Build is free. And you don't have to know me to set up an account on Jobs to Build. It could be anyone. Yeah. Once I see that new one come, I get an email for it. I look up and I'm like, oh, there's a phone number. Let me call. Hey.
I love that element where it's just trades specific too.
All trade specific.
Listen, we know a lot of tradespeople, a lot, and they're always looking for quality employees. So if they don't listen to this podcast, I'm going to forward it to them so they kind of get it, because it's a free resource is great. I mean, I've spent thousands of dollars on ZipRecruiter, thousands on Indeed to get very, very little turnout. And the click rate, lots of clicks, but people see drywall and it's, I'm sure I want to do that. They
or you get the guys, I've been drywalling for 20 years. I know exactly how to do it. I'll bring myself and my bad habits right along with me. And
Yeah. Can I drink on the web? Can I drink on the job site? Is that okay if I smoke and drink on the job site? Yeah. No. Oh, no. Oh. Okay.
Can I show up baked?
Yeah. Yeah. Is meth allowed? Is meth allowed?
That's going to be a fabulous.
Yeah. What's great is because if you pre-vet, I've had a lot of coffee today. I think I'm talking fast. I'm going to try and slow down just a little bit. If we pre-vet them, you pre-vet them for us. I mean, because we have a few things we need to filter out.
Right.
I can't have felonies. I can't have sexual offenses. I can't have theft. I can't have, things like that, because we're in people's homes. If you're a roofer,
if you're mowing the yard, you can hire ex-cons.
So we can't do that because plus we have contracts with hospitals and stuff, and they really require background checking and stuff. Mm-hmm. So if we put all that in the system, then your system knows, don't send these candidates to this.
Absolutely.
Employer.
Yeah. I'm not a second chance employer, and that's great. And not that you're not a second chance player. It's like, oh man, you got to give someone a second chance, but not on the felony. Sometimes it's something different, and that works out 100% fine. There's only 10, 20% that are. It's not everyone, because you are. In the trades, a lot of times you go to house, but some trades have it where, hey, while the home or something's being built, there's the blue tape, so you can go before. Before the turnkey.
Well, and
that's different.
And I'm not really anti-second chance. It's just that, like, if someone made a mistake when they're 18 years old, right? They're now an adult, and they ended up, they were in the car when their buddy robbed a gas station,
right.
Or they got a weed offense or something like that. And here they are. It's 10 years later. It's like,
no, I agree.
I'm not going to say no. I'm going to look closer. We're going to really have some hard hearts, and then they'll be watched when they're here. But it's the hey, I just got out of jail, or I just got popped with a gun violation, or something. That's a hard no.
Some of them, the only difference between me and them is they got caught.
Yeah,
exactly. Right.
Let's call it what it is. And there's cameras now everywhere. When we were growing up, there was
no cameras.
And social media and tracking and I often think that my kids, they don't really know how much surveillance they have compared to what we had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Different world.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your end user clients. Obviously, Hole in the Wall is now one of your vendors. Who else is out there that are hiring these type of students?
Yeah. So I know going to Southern Tech, Florida Tech, they have, and Orange Tech, they have HVAC students, electrical students. And, living in Florida, HVAC is huge.
Yeah. Air conditioning is necessary.
It's very necessary. So as their students every several months, students are already graduating and all. And you have companies like Strata, who's tremendous, Del Air, Cool Today, Advanced Refrigeration AC. There's a lot of big companies like that are hiring, 30, 40, 50 graduates at a time.
Oh, my. Wow.
So in February alone, Del Air will hire, I would say 50 to 70 between February and March, like within 2 weeks. But I'm programmed.
Yeah.
So I'm already set. I have all of them. I know, I've spoken to them. Don't do nothing. Wait till February. I got you. So the same thing with Strata Services is probably going, 2025, and Strata is growing.
Yeah.
They're like in Tennessee now, Alabama.
Wow.
They're growing very big. I mean, they went from like probably 40 or 50 locations. I want to say they have a little over 100 now. So it's huge.
Well, so we're small potatoes, Bill, compared to those guys.
Right. It's okay.
And they started off small too. So
yeah, everybody started small one day.
But what's fun is we're going to talk to Joe off the air about how we can get in the door and talk to some of those nice big whales that we need to. We service all of those people. We work with HVAC companies.
And they're great people. So you won't have a problem.
Absolutely. Do you have any success stories? Can you highlight as best you can without breaking confidentiality, a couple success stories?
I can tell you a couple of, like you talk about, like students and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can tell you one is my own son.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I said it on the air earlier, but my son, who is now 21, I have 4 children, right? So my 18-year-old who didn't want to even graduate high school, it was kind of a challenge. I almost needed to call a hole in the wall how many times I wanted to throw him through the wall. But P.S., I'll do it. And he like turned 18 and then graduated that Monday. It was like Friday, Monday, because he's a May baby. So it was like, driving me crazy. And he went through HBI course, did the carpentry and all of that. And how he went through was, it was always a challenge. It was always like, they're 18, right? I know what I'm doing. Dad, you have no clue. Yes, you're right. So he started building trusses overnight. When I saw that he had a passion for it was when he was going to classes. HBI used to have a 12-week program. Now it's 9.
Yeah.
But when it was 12, it was like 7:30 to 3:30. He would leave there at 3:30 and fly over to Sanford and start building trusses from 4:30 to 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And then wash, rinse, and repeat. So he did it 3 nights a week, not all 5. The GM there was a blessing to help him out. But so he did that, and he was like almost like zombie state. I'm like, hey, bud, you okay? He's like, I got this. I'm doing this. Like I love it. Like his passion was like an athlete grinding. He was grinding for it. And as soon as he graduated, it was 12 weeks. It was a 90-day program. His 90 days came up at work, and they promoted him to a service tech. So now he was going out there. He had a van, and he'd go pick up the van every day at work and go this and that. as he learned and as he did it, he just knew what he was doing. He understood a blueprint. He understood and just kept picking it up. And they made him a field manager. Now he has a truck, a gas card, an e-pass, and
Wow.
making, I don't know, over probably close to 60 a year, 21 years
My
old.
goodness.
Bonuses. He bought a boat. Actually, very hurt my feelings. He bought a boat like Father's Day weekend. So I'm like happy as can be. And he's like, that's my boat. It just so happens to be this weekend. It was on sale. I'm like, thanks, jerk. But P.S. So, here's a boat. So that, and that happens to be my son, but we have success stories that come in on the probably daily or weekly.
And so he's what? How old is he now?
He's 21.
21. Is he still living at home?
Yeah, I can't even kick him out. He's too young. I'm Italian. He stays till he's married. You're not allowed to leave.
My kids are all doing that. Well, their mother's Italian. So
yeah, you gotta say. And he's a babe, 21. Like we still call him the babe. Meaning I have a 19-year-old. He's still 21. He's too young. He's wet behind the ears. He has no clue. But
make that savings account grow.
Yeah. So absolutely, but there's a ton of, and I just told you that with my son because it's fun.
Yeah.
But a ton of different stories how they, I have students that came from a school that literally was living out of his car and Strata gave them a shot, and the kid's probably 4 or 5 years in and is one of the supervisors at Strata Services.
Wow.
So it's fantastic, and they're helping him like you. He's like, I want to get an LLC. I want to do it on my own. They're helping him going through everything to do it.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, why not?
That's crazy.
Healthy competition. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and even in the corrections, there's got to be some success stories with people who made mistakes. They got rehabilitated, and they're coming out to build new careers, right?
Yeah, I was telling you how this week was big. So I had a meeting with them last night, and then on Thursday I'm speaking to probably 30 or 40 incarcerated that are coming out within the next month or so. But there was this one. I'll tell you, his first name is funny because it's spelled German, but it's Herman. So he was incarcerated and all, and coming at this and that, didn't know what to do. Was working with him, helping him out, and he get an interview, and it was like, it just didn't. They needed 2 people, and there was 4, and I'm like, we're not giving up. And he's working with a landscaping company right now. He started doing landscape because it's part of the trades, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Part of the trades. And started doing that. And now he was Mr. Joe. I got like 4 people working for me now. In that company, it's not his own company, but he's like a lead over these people.
Wow.
And he was incarcerated 8-9 months ago.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good side. I love those stories.
Yeah.
They're super, super important. All right, so listen, Joe, as we wrap up, is there any words of wisdom you have for anybody out there, whether it's a talent student or whether it's an employer, something you can just drop, some Joe knowledge on us?
What I want to say, and I'll say this to the employee, and then I want to say it to the employer too. So the Joe knowledge for the employee is work with us because we won't stop working with you. We'll just continue doing it. That's a passion. There's roughly 30 of us in so many different states. We met just last month all together, and the passion that everyone has, it's almost like could bring tears to your eyes how much love there is for someone getting a job. It's the craziest thing in the world, So it's great. And for the employer, hey, it's at no cost, and we work for you. Like I have weekly, bi-weekly meetings with all my employers, and whatever their needs are, I'm going to satisfy them. If you need 100 people, there's a roofing company in Tampa need 100 people. We need 100 people. We need them by the end of the year. And our first event we had with them, we had like 48 eligible people there for them. The next event, you get the next half. It's like one of those. So
that's impressive.
We will do it, and that's in Tampa, and that's quite a while from here. So, but we have people that are from all over the place helping out, and we got them a good little squad. So,
all right. So if you're an employer, go to the jobstobuild.com
and go under employer.
Okay.
And if you're candidate employee, you go to it'll be jobstobuild.com, and it would say job seeker registration.
Excellent. And if they want to get hold of you, what's the best way to make that happen?
As soon as they go on there, they see my funny looking mug on there, my email address, my phone number, but my mom, my wife, and my enemies have my same phone number, so I could even say it on the air. I have no problem. It's on the card. It's 407-385-9364. That's my cell phone. And I'm here to help people. Doesn't matter what time you call me, I'm here.
Well, your passion really comes through.
Fantastic. I think we just crammed an hour in the 29 minutes we've been here. So lots of coffee.
Maybe the listener could play this back at like 3/4 speed.
I realized I was talking fast when I was like, wait a second, I'm not even enunciating my words. So apologize, listener.
No, but what an exciting topic, though, and what passion you have for it, man. It just comes through clear.
It was just a chance. I mean, we go to HBI, try to every month for their job fair. They do a quick presentation. We meet some great people, and that the first time I went, you weren't there, but this last time we went, I met you, and it was like, Zoraida, who's our contact there, she's like, have you met Joe? I go, no. She's, oh, you got to meet Joe. And then we just clicked. So
it's funny, it was the first time I ever missed. My son, who's the pitcher, hurt his elbow. He's actually having surgery next month, but it's not Tommy John, so it's good. And I was away, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I missed an HBI, and it happened to be the one that we could have met at. But I'm glad we did, so it worked out great.
It worked out.
Absolutely.
It worked out good. Well, listen, Joe, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. Great show, great information.
I cannot wait to just start hiring more people and introducing all of my locations as we grow to this platform, because I know they're going to need it. So absolutely fabulous. So Joe, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for listening. It was a really good show. Appreciate it. We'd like to thank you for listening to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. We'd love for you to join our Facebook group and keep the conversation going. If you'd like to learn more about us and our business, check us out at holeinthewall.com. If you'd like to learn more about how to start a Hole in the Wall franchise, go to holeinthewallfranchising.com.